ladies and gentlemen. My name is Ameka Cognet, and I am one of Dominica's uprising poets. I'm so excited to be a part of a Write-Tukubuli literary festival, and I hope that you guys enjoy my pieces that I have submitted. This first one is called The Apology of Water. They say water remembers. Every touch, every tremor, every vessel that it held, every body that drank it dry. And if water remembers, then what of me? What of me? You see, 90% water, 90% memory. I am not just a flood of forgotten faces, a pool of promises left to rot. They say water is life, meant to give life to everything that it touches. But for me, it's different. My everyday is a nightmare of drowning, gasping for air, clawing onto the surface while the waves keep pulling me down. Yet, some days, I feel to sit in the bathtub and just slide all the way down and not coming back up for air. You see, sometimes I feel like Atlantis, washed away, submerged, but they're there beneath it all, and people have to dive deep. So deep that that's the only time that they can reach me, to see my smile, to see the bright parts of me, but I'm 6 feet under. Just trying to breathe. They say water is life, but death sleeps in the deep. Death hides in the RIP, in the glint of a glassy surface that smiles while it swallows. And my mouth is so dry. I don't understand why it's so dry. My heart is a drum, and why is it's beating so fast, and cold sweat pushes through my pores, and as though tears weren't enough, yet my mouth stays dry. Water takes the shape of whatever it holds, but it's just like me. I bend, I fold, I feel every crack you give me, stretch to fit your expectations until I'm thin and transparent until I disappear. I'm a river in rage, rushing, reckless, tearing down a reason, bursting banks, and there's no way back. I'm a still pond. But you don't see what's beneath. You don't see the weeds wrapping around my ankles and pulling me down. Water sheds, but it drowns. You see, it has you swinging, it has you swaying, but going nowhere. It's meant to hydrate, but it prunes your skin. It wrinkles your fingers, and it shrivels all the edges. The longer you stay in it, that's the only way you'll know what's in between. You see, water falls like my thoughts fall, wet, wild, unforbidden, like a storm inside my skin. Water rises, so does panic, and so does dread. It swells in the silence, it fills the room, it floods the lungs. Just breathe. Breathe, but how? You see, water is a lover that soothes but scalds, liquid that slips through fingers or drowns, ice that numbs or cuts, a mist that masks or blinds, stream that burns or bursts. I am all of these, yet I am none. I am changing, always changing, but never free. You see, my chest is tight. Why is my chest so tight? And my head is loud. And why is my head so loud? In some places, they pray to water, pour rum to river, bake babies in a blessed springs. In others, they build walls higher and higher, as if floods won't find a way. Depression is water that creeps through every crack, that sips, that drips, wearing me hollow, wearing me gone. I am sorry for the flood. I am sorry for the frost, for the fog, for the tears. I am sorry for every spill of water, every drop that won't stop. For every overflow, for every leak that slipped my lips, for every level and every wave I couldn't hold back. But water is memory, and water is life. And all I've ever known is how to be 90% water, while the 10% of me depends and adjusts and shifts with the state of however my water flows, however it forms. But I only become what you poured into me. Thank you. Hi guys, this is my second piece. It's called How Do You Love a Strong Woman? Tell me, how do you love a strong woman? Not the kind who acts strong, but the kind who is. The kind that just holds it down, and she is the ground. The backbone, the bass note, the one who wakes up with the weight of the world pressed into her shoulders like perfume, but still struts through her day like she was born of honey and hurricane, the one who holds secrets in her spine and prayers in the soles of her feet. How do you love the woman who shows up full? And even when she's half empty, she's the type of who gives and gives and gives and gives until her love feels like labor and silence feels like sanctuary, who stretches her smile like fabric over pain so no one sees the bruise beneath her bravery. She's the type to say, I'm good, when she's barely breathing. The one who moves mountains before she ever asked to move a pebble. You see, strong women, they are born from fire and missed by storms. They are the walking miracles of mothers who didn't rest. The grandmothers who prayed till their knees bled. She cries, generations in her bones. You see, her grandmother's prayers, her mother's pain, the dream of 1,000 sisters who never got to rest. So tell me, how do you love her? You start by slowing down. You love her soft, and not because she's fragile, but because she never gets to be. Talk to her with fingertips, let your hands learn her language before your mouth ever speaks. You be the silence where she can put down her shield without ever being asked. You see, to pick up another, you trace the ache behind her laughter. You kiss the corners of her resilience like you were born to taste her truth. You see, to love her, you must teach her what love feels like in return. Not the transactional kind she's used to, not obligation masked as devotion, but the kind that drips slow. You see, like syrup over Sunday bread, the kind that lets her exhale without asking if she's being too much. You love her by seeing her, not just the superwoman suit, but the tired eyes behind it, the battles, the fights that don't come with applause, the dreams that she buries, and she buries them behind duty and deadline. You see, you love her with all her flaws, and you love her in a way that reminds her she deserves the very softness. Her hands are like candy, and you let her know that her skin is not just armor, it's velvet, and that she deserves to be caressed and not just tested. You see, you love a strong woman by holding space for the girl in her who never was allowed to fall apart, to give her permission to not be okay and to still be divine. She's stubborn. Oh, she's stubborn, and she'll fight you. She'll build walls of independence and wrap herself in, I got this. So love her like water, love her like stone, not by breaking it, but by smoothing it over time. Be steady, be still, be real. Hold her gaze when she tries to look away. Call her out when she hides behind strength. Tell her, no, baby, you don't have to carry it all. Let me hold you now. So, how do you love a strong woman? You kiss the parts of her that ain't polished, the parts that hide so no one sees the cracks, and then you tell her that even cracked things hold light and that she has been shining all along. And when she forgets who she is, cause even goddesses get tired, you whisper her name back into her own mouth. You love her by loving her until she starts loving herself. You love her by choosing her when she forgets to choose herself, by showing her that even when she swears she doesn't need anyone, especially then. Because the strongest women, they're the ones who carry everyone, but sometimes, just sometimes, they need someone to carry them and remind her that her surrender is not the opposite of strength, it is the final form. Love her by saying, I got you, love, and meaning it. By telling her it's okay to cry and not being scared when she finally does. You make her feel safe. You be soft. You make her feel holy in her mess. You love her like she's art and not to be fixed, but studied, admired, and felt. So if you ever wonder how to love a strong woman, you let her rest. You let her be. You love her enough to let her be human and not just a hero. You don't just touch her body. You see it. You don't just trace her curves. You honor the valleys that she walked through and still stand tall. And when she finally rests her head against your chest and lets the tears come, those sacred, unforbidden tears, you hold her like blessings you never want to lose. Because the strongest women are not asking for saviors. They really aren't. They're asking for someone to be brave enough to love them whole. Thank you.